Ladies and gentlemen, gather around your radio sets to get your children all ready. And like I said, get your cup of tea, your hot coffee, or whatever you like to drink. We have a big show for you today. And the mediator with me, Brian West, as usual, giving you the top 8 headlines, developing news stories that made it throughout the week. I am locked and loaded. News here, good news, whatever you want is here in mediation with me, Brian West. Like I said, let me read the disclaimer. This is the show where I highlight the top 8 stories, and they are only documented for records and to highlight topics for those in the business of talk radio, talk media, and those who just want to stay informed. Now, folks, like I said, let's get to the top 8. But if you want to contribute in any way, if you hear us during the program and you want to give us a shout out, you want to sponsor a program, you want to help us out, you can go to our website, method8inc.com, and you can buy something, click on something, watch something, or just read something, or you just sponsor a program. If the signal is not strong in your area and you want to listen online, you can go to www.600wsom.com and listen live on the radio. Now it's time, folks, for the top 8. Now, like I said, I'm only doing this for you, to inform you. I come in here every week to give you what you need in a dose of vitamin N, the news, folks. Ladies, story number 1 is the migrant crisis strategic. If you do not know what the word migrant means, it means that workers, people coming in from other countries, or they're just coming in to work in another country or just to have labor, and sometimes they leave their country. There's some big things going on. There was a story that surfaced. It says a DACA recipient apparently, I guess, was arrested by Border Patrol agents on suspicion of smuggling over 34 G's worth of meth into the country. You know, this was in California near the Mexico border. Now, this immigration issue is kind of trying to ease its way back into the news. You probably will see it, I can guarantee, easing back into the news because of the fact that the administration that we have, the Trump administration, he's had a good week. He definitely had a good week, and you may see this creep back in the news because there's a lot of, when you look at votes and you're trying to get votes, the immigration issue will always strike attention, and they can't seem to get this president on the economy. They can't seem to get him on they can get him on his behavior, but when it comes to immigration, you probably will see this surfacing, especially because we are getting closer and closer to the midterms. And there was a judge that he brought some things to light about President Trump, and he was talking about how he feels that President Trump has a bias towards non-white, non-European, pretty much people who are in the country, or even people who are trying to get in the country or trying to find some type of refuge. This was U.S. District Judge Edward Chin, and I guess he's a judge in San Francisco. And this is what you'll probably see creeping back into the news. This story crept into the top 8 because of the fact that the immigration issue is still there. We may be touting some good economic numbers right now, but analysts are looking at this market. There's some things I'm going to bring to light today, and analysts are looking at this market, and some people are biting their nails. Some people are wondering how long this can last, and some people, especially, I'm going to talk about some of the trade issues that came to light. And another judge has also, I guess he says that the DOJ needs to cough up $28 million after striking down the Trump administration's law that says states and cities were not allowed to keep officials from reporting people's immigration status to U.S. authorities. So the judge declared the law unconstitutional. You are going to see, I can probably guarantee, the immigration debate and immigration issues seeping right in. The Democrats say that their policies are better, and you've probably seen now. Each party has its pros and cons. Now, if you yourself want to paint the Republicans as being the bad guy in this whole big picture, what Republicans are saying, if you listen and you observe, you may see things that make sense. Every country has a border problem, and when it comes to what the president is saying, they're saying that his language is a little harsh, the other side. So you're gonna see this creep back in because of the fact that right now you just seen Kavanaugh get he's sworn in. So that means that the laws are going to go gear a little bit more towards the right. So what people are looking at now, this is a common sense battle, and there's some things going on in the mixture of the United States right now that we haven't seen in a long time. You're seeing a president who most people say has a hot head, but when it comes down to policies and getting things done, he has the energy and he has the charisma to make it happen. And then there's another party that's saying, this guy's behavior, he's going to cost us in the long run. Foreign relations are when you look at the long run when it comes to foreign relations with allies and people who felt like they can trust the United States. Some people are saying this may change, and that's why story number one, the strategy of using immigrants and illegals and even legals in the debate, saying what party can do what for you. You may see this strike. This story may bump up as we get closer and closer to election season because of the fact that those are votes, and there's legal immigrants and there's illegal immigrants, and a lot of legal immigrants don't think it's fair. So this story may gain some strength. And that's the big question: is it strategic by keeping the migrant and the immigration debate in the news, and who has the upper hand in the debate? Right now, we're at the we're getting closer and closer, and nobody knows. You have to understand that this country has admitted 22,491 refugees. Now, this is low. This is very low since the refugee settlement program that began in 1980. So whatever is happening in the mixture, something is changing, and you gotta think. Not too long ago, in 2011. We saw the strikes in Syria, which killed an estimated 400,000 people and forced 5.6 million people to flee war within the country. So that's 54%. 54% of voters say that the U.S. is not responsible for this war. There's a lot of baggage, and so what you're going to see in these next few weeks, You may see people bringing the immigration debate back into the forefront because no matter who gets sent to the House, the fact that there are countries at war, somebody has to be accountable for people's strategy when saying, okay, let's go in and invade this country, let's infiltrate the U.S. border, let's smuggle drugs into their country. And then you have one party saying, well, we build a wall, that'll solve the problem. Then next thing you know, you got people dying to get in. They're building tunnels over ground. So this story will grow. I can guarantee it, because no matter who is in that seat, I don't care how well things are going, the immigration debate will stay alive because there are still problems when it comes to foreign issues. People are not getting fed. People don't have resources. It's easy for most Americans, or just most people across the world, to get in their comfort zone. But the reality is that there are a lot of immigrants suffering. How would you feel if Russia or another country just started dropping bombs in your neighborhood? You have to leave. You're seeing your babies being washed up on the sea. So I say, like I said, I don't see this story leaving the news. I think it's going to ramp up in the next few weeks because one party has to have a deal, has to have some type of policies when it comes to not only just refugees, asylum seekers, whatever you want to call it, because these people don't have a choice. They don't have a choice. The immigration issue is still a big topic. Like I said, if you want to show us some support, you can go to method8inc.com, where you can buy stuff, watch stuff, or read stuff. We're in the independent arts company in the business of theater, movies, media, videos, music. We're publishing consultants, business consultants, marketing consultants, event planners, photography, videography, anything you see that deals with intellectual property, modeling, web consultants, performing arts specialists. It is me. I'm in there from 10 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, 5648 Market Street in Boardman, Ohio. You can also go to the website and sponsor a program if you want to help us out. Any little bit helps. It said the more traffic we get on the website, the better. There's also some things going on in the community. I guess Top Hats plays. Their season starts this week. They will be showing Little Shop of Horrors, and it's directed by Emma Wazen. It opens Friday, October 12th, and it runs from October 13th, 19th, 20th, 26th, and 27th. Tickets are available at www.tophatproductions.com. They are a non-profit community-run organization. They are located at 4220 Youngstown Poland Road or Struthers. You can in Struthers or Youngstown. And like I said, they got things going on. And we're about to get to story number 2. And it's getting no matter which direction you turn, you can go right, left. People are looking for things that work, and right now we're probably seeing some things. And now the next story, number 2, how far can NASA go? This story crept its way up to number 2. I thought it was going to be the first story that made it in, but it crept its way up to number 2 because there's been a lot of circulation around NASA. There's also been some conspiracy gurus who are saying that the wealthy are planning to someday leave the planet and go to Mars. You hear some. I mean, when I'm running through stories and I'm looking through the news for the love of the game, I see there's some amazing concepts that people come up with. But there's also a study that has been released that states that a trip to Mars could cause significant damage to astronauts' stomach, eventually causing cancer. NASA crept in the news because of the fact that NASA is an organization. We also heard some discussions about Trump talking about a Space Force, which you probably see because of the fact that these are dollars, government dollars, and you'll probably see people. Over the years, NASA has made some amazing discoveries. I think the trip to the moon was a major, big thing. Not only just the space race in general, because it made people see how far man could go. And now that technology, we're in the age of, technology is unbelievable. You can put a box in your room like Alexa or something. They can start talking and recording data. We're in a technology boom, but we have to ask ourselves, what role did NASA play? Missions to space and all of the studying and the research that went into just technology. Just the advancements, the ability to see how, and just the sacrifices. There's probably tons of classified files that have never been released from NASA. So NASA is this. I don't think the story. It really depends on what policies, or if anything changes in NASA, if they continue to stay in the news. They've been making some amazing discoveries. They're able to send signals through the depths of space. They're finding new galaxies, finding new planets. Some planets they're saying that they think have life on them. And some people are saying, how important is NASA for the future? Just the development. The rockets. You had Elon Musk. They're blasting off rockets. It's trying to send people boomerang around the moon. So, and there also was another discovery. There's a new lander being developed by Lockheed Martin. I guess this is going to allow some astronauts to stay on the moon for about 2 weeks. So when you see stories like this, and there was even a rumor of an alien asteroid craft that was floating, that somehow floated into the Milky Way galaxy. This NASA story just crept in. I don't know the significance of it. I don't know how important it will get. Some people say that we've got too much junk in space. It's a waste. It's a waste of resources and time. Some people love the fact that, you got to look at how far we've come at being able to take pictures. But some people say that that's the problem. This is the creation of global warming. The fact that satellites are sending signals back and forth. Some people say that this is advancement. It really depends on who you're talking to at the time and whose opinion is great. Some people feel like we've done more harm to the planet but you got to look. We're able to track hurricanes. Satellites can send signals. You've got Google Earth. They're taking pictures of things, but the conflict that comes with technology, and the fact that you've got other countries racing to get to space. There was even reports about how North Korea muscled his way into the nuclear game by claiming that they were going to send a satellite into orbit. So when you've got all of these people messing around in space, we've got to look at the long run, how this can change. Is this going to change anything? And then the search for alien life. Are we alone in the universe? Some say that there's alien life on Saturn's moon. I mean, I always theorized when I was a kid. I say human beings are only made to see we can only see what we were designed to see, and that's colors from the sun. I invented this little color dial when I was a kid. I was a really big science guru, but this story, NASA, I think may gain some steam because of the fact that no even the damage, if there's been any damage done by NASA, you may see this story stay. Like I said, it's pretty low. If it gets bumped up, I'll be surprised. Unless we see some type of a Independence Day atmosphere where some aliens are just coming down, and you got George Clinton and the Parliament coming down with the mothership, and people are getting zoomed up to another galaxy, or take all the hippies away, and next thing you know, you see Lenny Kravitz coming out talking about American Woman. And I said, unless we see something like that, I think this story may fade out. Who knows? Who knows? Will NASA stay in the news? Like I said, if you want to contribute in any way, you can go to METHOD, the number 8, INC.com. That's method8inc.com. We're in the business of theater, media, videos, movies, music, publishing consultants, business consultants, marketing consultants, event planners, photography, videography, modeling, and web consultants, and performing arts specialists. If you want to contribute anyway, just go to the website, method8inc.com. That's METHOD, the number 8, INC.com. Buy something, watch something, read something, or just click on something, or you can sponsor a program. Now let's get to story number 3. This story number 3, why domestic abuse may end up as an additional hot topic along with sexual assault. Anytime you see issues there where people are saying they are abused, molested, you're going to see the topic of domestic abuse creep in there, because there are some children, there are some people who are in their homes right now, and mommy and daddy does not get along, and daddy may be hitting mommy may be hitting daddy, and some people just don't understand. But domestic violence is a big thing. It affects everybody. I think we just watched Urban Meyer. He got into some situations. They also had some situations at the Youngstown State with some domestic violence issues. There was some, but sexual assault it's a big thing. I mean, it's staying in the news. This story went all the way from the top story last week was sexual trafficking, but now it went all the way down to number 3 because because with Kavanaugh, I think it may trickle, but people are keeping it alive with the Me Too movement, the sexual assault issues. They're saying that I guess there was a Nobel Peace Prize that was awarded to 2 individuals fighting against sexual violence. I guess they're sexual abuse and war crimes. Denis Mukwege and Nadia Murad. I guess they're looking for them, and they're impressed because of the fact that this girl, she used to be a sex slave. There was also some a story that surfaced that this sexual thing is big. This is an actual big thing, because there was there are girls as young as 12 years old who are working as prostitutes in Nigeria. They put marks on these girls. They're considered slavery tattoos. They put them on their body. This story, when you look at women's issues, this may stay in the news. This story is like gaining so much steam because of the fact that the prostitution world, the pimps, and for people to be able to, they say these guys run some serious operations. I mean, serious operations. They say they've got armies of guys who get these girls. They get them young. They rape them. Some of them don't make it out. This when you talk about sexual assault, domestic violence, and the battle between men and women saying that men leave their children. I mean, this is a story may gain some steam. It's got a lot of potential to stay in the top 8 for the next few weeks if people keep addressing what's really going on behind closed doors. My sister, she even has a domestic violence organization because we have some problems with it. I mean, it's in almost every home where people are they're in home and next thing you know, dad can't pay the bills, mommy is having problems paying the bills. They get in some arguments. Next thing you know, somebody gets clocked. This is a big thing, folks. This battle between men and women are saying that men aren't pulling their weight. Men are saying women aren't pulling their weight in the house. The battle between men and women. I don't think this justice pick is the final straw. You may see stories popping up more and more. There's even a woman in Maryland who was in trouble because she set an entire apartment complex on fire because she was upset with her ex-boyfriend. Damage is estimated to be $2.2 million. And at least 130 residents have no place to go. Yes, this is real. The woman's name was Natasha Joyner. I guess she's 32 years old. The domestic violence problem. This story can gain some steam. It has a lot. I mean, it has a lot of potential because when you've got heroes out there and they've been affected, people are giving their voice. Little girls have been molested. Boys have been molested. Even with priests and preachers and people who are supposed to be in leadership positions. Women and men have sexual problems that can't be controlled on the workroom floor. This story may stay in the news. And even with the apartment, they don't even know if the girl and the boyfriend lived there. But this is a big story. There's also a story that surfaced about a diving coach at Harvard. I guess he's been placed on leave because he was soliciting nude photos from female athletes while also exchanging other X-rated pictures. God, this story may stay. I mean, this is the more they talk about sexual assault, people coming up missing, people sold into sex slaves, women from other countries having no way to support their families, selling their daughters into slavery for sex slaves, people putting tracking devices in their girlfriends because they want to track where they are. This is a big story, folks, and it's only at number 3. It was in the top 8. It's been staying in the news. This is big. Do you know that there's been a 50% increase in lawsuits filed relating to workplace sexual assault? This story that's a huge story. Man, got me all worked up. This it's drawing more awareness because people are watching what they do. I'm even starting to watch my eyes. I mean, some of these people, some of these girls, they wear some amazing outfits. I mean, you'll be sitting there and next thing you know, you'll be doing something constructive and you'll see something and you have to tell yourself, hey, take a seat, but it's big. That's a big story. If you want to contribute in any way, METHOD, the number 8, INC.com, methodinc.com. If you want to help us out, you can buy something, watch something, read something, or just click on something on the website, or you can sponsor a program. We're in the business of theater, media, videos, movies, music, publishing consultants, business consultants, marketing consultants, event planners, photography, videography, modeling, web consultants, and performing arts specialists. And we are the independent arts company. I'm there at 5648 Market Street, Bourbon, Ohio, from 10 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, giving my services to the public, to the greater city of Youngstown and the greater area, Mahoney Valley. There's also a play going on. We're almost at the halfway point. A Little Shop of Horrors, directed by Emma Wazen. I guess they're opening up this Friday, October 12th, and it runs October 13th, 19th, 20th, 26th, and 27th. Tickets are available at www.tophatproductions.org. 422 Youngstown Poland Road. That's where you're located at. So you can either Google Struthers Youngstown. If you want to contribute in any way, you can go to the website or you can sponsor a program. Or if you want to check out the news stories that almost made it into the media, you can go to the website as well. METHOD, the number 8, INC.com, methodinc.com. You can like us stories. You can send stories. Let us know what stories you think or have potential to be in the top 8. Now let's get to story number 4. We're at the halfway point, and I'm trying to get through as many, get through the top 8. For story number 4 is unique because I guess the headline reads, restaurants and their employees are still in the hot seat. They've been in the hot seat. There was a report that surfaced that said a woman at Chick-fil-A, she's claiming that the well-known food chain served her cleaning solution in her coffee. Chick-fil-A, the Chick-fil-A offered to pay the woman's medical bills, but I guess she wants more out of the deal. Folks, I worked fast food when I was a kid, and the immaturity of kids at that age, you may see some things. There was even a report that surfaced where a worker spit in somebody's food. So this story popped up to number 4 because of we're dealing with food and what people are putting in their body, and the fact that the older generation is looking at the younger generation and saying you're too spoiled, you don't know how to work, you don't know how to act in a city where in a democracy where you should appreciate every dime, every penny you get. But this story surfaced and made it to the midway point because of the fact that you have 2 generations battling out. You have a generation that pretty much built this empire of the United States, and you have a generation that is complaining about wages, jobs, not having enough money to feed themselves, working fast food, some even going on strike. So this story, I see this story staying because of the fact that each generation is look. Some people say they've been working their entire careers, and they don't see a dime. No type of. Some of them lose their jobs. They become homeless. There was even one that surfaced about, I guess, rats shut down a restaurant, and the rats were spotted at a McDonald's in D.C. There was even another story. A Dunkin' Donuts employee in upstate New York has been suspended for pouring water on a homeless man while sleeping in the restaurant where he worked. Is this a cry for help from the younger generation? Are they saying that, hey, we're not being heard? I mean, is this a cry, or is it just a fact that you've got young spoiled children who, I mean, you go to other countries, you go to communist countries, they get killed if they don't work. So this story may stay, and it gets deeper because you've got other stories where people have even found cockroach. There was a story about a Burger King customer in Florida. I guess he's waiting for some type of support because he's saying that he bit into a cockroach in his sandwich. There was even another story about a McDonald's employee who's been accused of putting peroxide-based cleaner in a cop's drink. Folks, this is, I mean, you can look at what's going on in this country, and you can say the older generation can say, you know, younger generation, you should have more respect and you should have more. I mean, we've got an abundance of resources in this country. There's even a story that I'm going to get to later on that's saying some people can't even find good workers. Is the next generation losing their mojo here? How, you know, is it because of the technology? Is it because the bills are too high? Is it because they're not being paid enough? You've got libraries, you've got colleges, and we still can't seem to get. I mean, you got people spitting people's foods. This is the real deal. Said number 4, mate. I don't know how long number 4, but there's a battle between the younger generations. Some of them don't have the money to pay their college bills. The older generation is saying, well, hey, I see you out spending money on concert tickets and weed and tattoos, but you can't pay. You know, this is the real deal. This is the real deal. Even the hip hop greats don't like what has become of the product. Old musicians battling it out with new musicians, saying they're too stupid, they don't even know how to play an instrument. I see story number 4 gaining some steam, folks, because there's a battle between who set the standards, who put the standards together, and there's a battle between rookies and young kids coming up and trying to develop a place in this world, and they're looking for some guidance, they're looking for some type of mentorship, and it's just arguing and arguing. Some are trying to get into politics, they don't like the game, they don't like the way it's played, they're saying it's too dirty, but there's a reality. Some are saying that the next generation is too soft. So this story number 4 will probably stay in the news. Real quick, if you want to contribute in any way, we're at the halfway point. You can go to method8inc.com, method8inc.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, or just read something. You're an intermediate with me, Brian West, giving you the top 8 headlines developing news stories that made it throughout the week. Something to look forward to during the week, something to talk to at the kitchen table. We have to keep it moving. I have to get to story number 5 as we are moving along. We are the independent arts company. I said I'm at 5648 Market Street in Boardman, Ohio. 10 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, giving my services when it deals to intellectual property, anything that deals with computers, theater, movies, videography, anything like that that deals with intellectual property, you can stop by 5648 Market Street in Boardman, Ohio. That's where I'm at. And story number 5. What we can learn from a trend of weird animal and insect behavior. There's some no matter what we do as human beings, there's groups like there's animal rights group like PETA, there's so many like people who are activists when it comes to helping, or just basically saying that humans are irresponsible when it comes to taking care of our duty on this planet. We litter, we waste things. We don't conserve the planet. We become ignorant. We don't understand the value of where our money is going. We don't have empathy for others. So this story creeped in because there's been some suspicious behavior going on with animals. There's been a bunch of shark attacks. 2-headed turtles have emerged. Zombie raccoons. Seals smacking people. There's been a new hummingbird species spotted in Ecuador. There was a shark in the Bahamas that tried to eat a fisherman's boat. Eat his motor. He wouldn't let go. There was a racehorse who wandered loose into a French bar after breaking loose from a racetrack. And there's also been some things surfacing about people killing elephants and the ivory business. So this story, it shot up to number 5 because there's been some, if you haven't noticed, the honeybee population has declined and has been in decline for decades. There are some organizations like Bee Downtown and people who put hives up at airports and things to try to keep them going from going extinct. But the reason why this story is so important is because as human beings, we don't know what will happen if one species becomes extinct. If you're a science major, you take science, there's a cause and effect to everything that we do as human beings. Whether it's pollution, whether it's dumping oil into the ocean, whether it's plastic. But I don't care which party or who is trying to vote for what candidate. There's a reality going on that the things that we do to nature eventually will come back on us. And there was even a story that surfaced where the last species of rhino, there was a last species of a rhino in Africa that is gone. It is extinct, it's dead. So we don't know what next is going to happen on the food chain and how this is going to affect human beings right now. That's why this story is so important. So the question is nature fighting back? Is there something causing animals to act stranger and stranger? There was some videotapes of deers running in schools. Nobody knows what these deers were running from. They just ran into the school and slid across the hallway. So this is some real deal stuff. No matter in the upcoming weeks, we will probably see these stories developing more and more because scientists have something to do. You're talking about polar ice caps melting, polar bears just passing out. This ain't the movies, folks. This ain't Happy Feet where you got singing penguins running around and there's no happy ending if we don't get control of this. Most people are saying global warming is real. It's the real deal. And they're saying human beings are causing this. So you can either look at the data and you can see if this is real. There's been you've got to look at diseases, you've got to look at mosquitoes, you've got to look at insects, you've got to look at what everything has a ripple effect. Everything is connected on this planet. And you may be thinking that it's never going to affect you, but you may be wondering, why is cancer? Where is this coming from? The stuff that we eat from the animals. The way we process our foods. This story is going to stay in the news. It's at number 5 right now, but and when you have policies and Congress where you talk about saving the environment, windmills and saving the planet, as we get closer and closer, I'm telling you right now, there's a battle going on between each party because they're trying to sell something to the public and getting them to believe that what they're saying has facts, substance. And if one party is saying we can just keep using up the planet and it'll be all good, no, there's a battle going on where you have the intellects, you have common sense thinkers, and you have people who have just been getting fed, who just been using a meal ticket and don't even know what's going on. But the intellects are saying, you know what? There's something happening in time, in nature. Common sense isn't common sense anymore. There's a reality out there, folks, and there's a reality that is shaping the minds of the next generation. Some of them are just getting high and burning their bodies, going to waste, not looking at the repercussions in the future. Not understanding why there's no benefits, why there's no Social Security, why everybody can't live off the government, why we need innovation, jobs, movement, technology. This is what's happening, and this is what's stirring up the atmosphere in the media. Stirring up people's ideas, stirring up answers. If you want to contribute in any way, METHOD, the number 8, INC.com, methodating.com, if you want to show some support. Me, pour my heart out on this mic. I'm giving you my everything. If you want to show some support, you can go to the website, METHOD, the number 8, INC.com. You can buy something, watch something, or read something, or just click on something, or sponsor a program. The business of theater, media, videos, movies, music, publishing consultants, business consultants, marketing consultants, event planners, photography, videography, modeling, web consultants, performing arts specialists. The Mediator with me, Brian West, where I try to stay in the middle and give you the top 8 stories that are this is reality. This ain't a game, folks. I mean, you can look and see that there's something different happening. Something is changing. And somebody's causing it. There's a cause and effect to everything. So if you want to show some support, you can go to METHOD, number 8, INC.com, methoding.com. I'm going to keep going because we've got a few more stories left to get to. And it's tough being a mediator. It's tough. It takes work. And I'm willing to do it. The weight may get heavy. It may get strong. But like I said, as a child, I was raised up to the sun, born to mediate. Yes. Yes. Mediation. It's what I do. Story number 6. Like I said, if the signal is too weak and you want to hear my vibrations, you want to feel what's going on in the news, you can go to www.600wsom.com and you can listen in live, or you can just go to the website, methodating.com, during the week, and we post the programs on there as well. Story number 6. What you may not know about suicide and serving the public. If you don't think that a public servant's job is hard and there's a responsibility, there's some things that happened in South Korea. I guess there's a former president. He's been put away for 15 years in prison, mainly for embezzling money. Lee Myung-bak, and he is in the president they have now, I believe is Moon. I guess he took his place. But corruption, if you're not up to speed on things, I recommend you look at who's in prison. There's a story that made it into the top 8 that I'm going to get to shortly. But public servants are crying out because even veterans, because there's an increase in suicide. There was also a story that surfaced that there's a report. There was officers, law enforcement, 7 of them, that were shot in South Carolina. 7. Now these are public servants too. Police officers being killed in the line of duty. They were shot by a 74-year-old disabled veteran named Frederick Hopkins. If you don't believe me, the story is there. And they say that he's been identified as a shooter, but he's a disabled veteran. Folks, there's some stuff going on in the atmosphere. If this is not back in the Andy Griffin days where you get a ticket for jaywalking. There's people who are killing cops killing people. This is a story because public service is what defines a country. And you can cut corruption, what people start doing. This is what defines a country. If the public service is good, the country has stability. If they start mingling with the criminals and getting caught up, then it becomes corrupt. Anybody will tell you corruption is terrible. It destroys everything. And no matter what Trump does, there's even reporters that continue to dig up, things that this president, that they're saying is shady business regarding past business deals. They're saying we have a criminal in the White House. This is the stories. And as each party battles it out, you're going to see more coming out. They're saying that on his quest to become president, Some supporters are saying that some people are saying that Trump supporters are in denial of the reality of who we have in the White House. Now I said I don't take away any man's credit. There's been some differences in the climate since Trump has been in office because he's brought some things to light. But people are they're loading up ammunition against this president and they're finding some dirt. They're saying that this man hasn't been paying his taxes. Some people are saying he's a con artist. Some people are saying the man is intellectual. There's so much confusion out there. And when it comes to voting, some people say that, I mean, people are writing books saying the man is ignorant. And he's the president. Who do you believe? This is a reality. I mean, they're saying people are not satisfied. And there's two parties right now. Matter of fact, there's three types of individuals, and some people are just trying to figure out is it okay to be in the White House and be able to say what you want, do what you want, live your life up and still be able to reign supreme as the president of the United States. You look at past presidents like George Washington, Abraham Lincoln. These people had integrity, a different type of substance, who approached the office a little bit differently. But some people are saying that Trump is changing the way we think as a society, as a world. You even had global leaders laughing at the United States president. This is some real stuff. These people make decisions on everything we do, monetary funds, everything. Some people are saying that Trump supporters are delusional. Trump supporters, you look at them, some people say they're just angry at just the way things, but we don't know how this is going to change the course of the future right now. There's conspiracy theorists out there right now who believe this is all some big conspiracy. There's been people committing suicide. Is this because of the atmosphere that's being set right now? Because people don't have money. And capitalism. They're talking about socialism and capitalism. People who want to live off the government, they don't, and some of them don't even understand finances. This hasn't been being taught. The ethics of the United States. There was even a Democrat from Kansas. The guy withdrew from a mayoral race and he was citing PTSD as the reason. Envelopes containing castor seeds. If you don't know, castor seeds eventually they can develop into ricin, develop poisoning. They were sent to top level officials' offices. This is the real deal, folks. There's something happening in the airwaves, and somebody is saying it's the Democrats. It's because of ignorance. It's because of the fact that, but no matter what you look at, there's something happening right now. I mean, you've got protesters protesting. You've got people attacking the Constitution. Man, there's some stuff going on in the news. But let's get to the top stories real quick so I can get out of here, get back to work. We've got two top stories that made it in the top 8 this week. It's heating up in mediation, I'm telling you, because each side has some good points, and we're approaching the season of voting. We're approaching the midterms, and this is a fight. I mean, when you talk about abortion, unethical behavior, corruption, people are. There's bodies everywhere. Story number 7. Does the urban community see an opportunity to reorganize the justice system under this administration? This story bumped all the way up into the top 2 stories because of the fact that it involves a rapper. Yes. If you haven't noticed, there's been quite a few stories that have surfaced about justice system reform. You may even see an issue on the ballot in your hometown, depending on where you live. Rapper Kanye West, they say he has apologized for his slave comments, but he's countered with a jab at the prison industry. about a high black prison population, and many historians are relating this to what was free slavery, free labor. They're saying that the prison system needs to be reformed because it's being run by free labor. They're saying it's just another form of slavery. This story is going to change if this story gains any more steam, because this country, I can never figure out why two people who come from the same genome, black and white and black, we all stem from the same place, which is, they say Africa was the birthland, can never get along. But there are black rights groups, black civil rights groups, who are saying that in this new environment, still that the African American people who are ancestors from slaves haven't been given a fair shot, haven't been reimbursed from the promises that were fulfilled from their generation, basically saying they haven't been reimbursed. It's not a fair system. Why should a person have to go into a bank, apply for a loan, when they were given, or their ancestors were abused and never given even any this at this particular time? People are struggling, and this story will probably stay in the news. This is a big thing. You got a rapper popping off at the mouth saying that that slavery was a choice. Then all of a sudden he changes his demeanor here, and now he's countering by saying the prison system has been a place where they've been getting free slave labor. Then you have this is a big story. It popped up to number 7. I don't know how long it's going to stay in the news, but if it does, it may alter some things. This guy is talking about taking Colin Kaepernick to the White House and visiting the president. Some people are saying it's common sense. You got to work for your keep. People have been living off the government. They've been abusing the system. But some people are saying, hey, this is a crooked foundation, and there's a group of people who are still not getting fed. They're being mistreated, having no credibility. I'm a black man myself. Like I said, I've had to earn everything I've got. I still haven't reached my fullest potential in life, but I don't know how long what this story may do. If this story gains any more attention, you may see a trickle effect from the urban community. You're already seeing it now. They're already protesting the cops. There's no trust in the justice system. People don't want to accept the fact when they do something wrong. They don't want to fess up to it. Some people are saying it's a mental disorder. This will eventually affect the financial market and reach the political arena. Keep an eye on this story, folks. I'm telling you. When you start talking about the justice system and African Americans and minorities, and when you start mixing it with politics, oh God, oh man, and then on top of that, you got history books showing people getting hung in broad daylight, babies being thrown over ships, people talking about reparation and blacks not being able to feed their. I mean, this is some real stuff. This is not a joke. This is what's going on in the atmosphere in America. Even other countries are seeing an opportunity to divide people. There's even some talk. They're talking about some white supremacists, nationalists coming to the occasion, talking about IQ levels and all this BS. This story number 7. I see this story. I wish in mediation. I pray to God that we can get along as a civilization. Let me get to the last story that made it to the media this week. Story number 8. We're almost down. We're down to the 5-minute mark. Why the new trade deals are such a big thing. Now, one thing Trump has been getting credit on is he's brought to light that we needed some trade changes. And anybody who's been in the trade business will tell you that there's been some fishy things going on. But China's ambassador has said that China wants to end the trade war, period, with the U.S. position on the matter. But this may be a win for the United States because of the fact that we're able to negotiate now. Trump has been able to get the world's attention by trade. The strategy of trade, to put it center stage, that's a big deal. There's now every world leader, friend or foe, ally or foe, whatever you want to call it, they're watching and they're reading this president. President Trump is on everybody's radar right now. They're watching this guy's his tweets. They're reading every book about foreign affairs, about what this guy's doing when it comes to foreign affairs. They're watching this president like white on rice. They're keeping an eye, and they're watching what he says. And there's even a story that surfaced that Canada is not inviting the U.S. or China to the World Trade Organization meeting. So if you want to know what's in USMCA, the United States Mexican Canada Agreement, there's some stuff in there about aiding farmers by curbing Canada's high tariffs on low quotas on U.S. dairy products. There's some stuff in there about the auto manufacturing business. Previously, 40% of cars were made in China with few environmental regulations. It's now at 25%. Changes. Some regulations. There's been changes to some of the regulations on the drug market in regards to patents. And if people are saying Trump was against the NFL, well, obviously he must have thought about him in the deal, because they even win in this deal, in this new trade deal, because the commercial policies with Canada. The wine industry even changes. So the Republican Party, the party that in this new environment will be known for trying to change the direction that this country has been going, but facing backlash. Some people say the Democratic Party is in trouble. And some people, this is, when you look at each community, when you look at the African American community, the issues that you see arising that were never, when you talk about education, the FCC trying to monitor the language, the entertainment business, people are saying that the inner city minorities don't understand how this country works. The petition system, they're saying that we don't know who our politicians are. We don't know how to file petitions. As a citizen, we're decaying. We don't understand we're doing things, rioting without any proof of substance. We're not letting the justice system work. We're not accepting the fact that we have some flaws. How do we better ourselves? There's a new grassroots movement going on, folks. Really quick, some local stories that made it in Youngstown. There are manufacturing jobs available, but companies like Valeric are having a hard time filling them. When it comes to labor, people are just saying even in the labor market, there's some unfair tactics. How come there's not a lot of minority-owned business owners stepping up to the plate? How come why do you have one sect of people talking about his history? Why this is the real deal. There's a change going on when you talk about the way history is taught. Why are you embracing people who own slaves and things like that, or why this is just a problem in America. It's just in America. Some other local stories that made it in. You only have until Tuesday to register for the general election. Another story that made it in the local news. Some say Youngstown School City CEO should not keep his bonus. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me what's going on in there. People are looking for results. And also, according to the FBI reports, another local story reports that Youngstown homicides have increased by 47% from 2016 to 2017. But there's good news. In the long run, they've declined since the 90s. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for tuning into the Meteor this week. If you want to contribute in any way, please go to our website, method8inc.com. That's method8inc.com. You buy something, click on something, watch something, or you can read something. This is The Mediator. The book of the month is Monuments Men by Robert Edsel. Like I said, if you want to contribute anyway, go to our website. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. We have a lot to do, and there's a lot going on in the world, and resources are drying up. People are scared. They don't know how we're going to cope. But like I said, and if you stay informed, you know what's going on, you'll be fine, and you'll make it through. Like I said, if you want to contribute in any way, you can go to our website, method8inc.com. There's a lot going on. Stay informed and stay happy. Show some love. Have a good week, everybody. Thank you for tuning to the Meteor this week with me, Brian West. Have a good week, everybody. I'm out.
If you need help, then dial your operator.
Have no fear, fellow citizens. The mediator is here.